All right, so today's video is about Deepwoken's challenge of power creep. So power creep is something that you might see in a lot of multiplayer games. If you don't know what it is, it basically affects games that include their own type of like progression or build creation, customization, and ones that get a lot of updates, especially to things that have to do with balance and changes. And it basically refers to a situation where the new addition of content and features in a game make like older features basically irrelevant, and creates an imbalance of the old stuff and the new stuff, where the new stuff is just so much better than what we had in the past. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure we all see Deepwoken has a very clear example of power creep in the game. So I actually made a video recently titled "My Build Isn't Outdated." So it's kind of just like a play on how, like, bro, when I was playing with that build in time, I would take so much damage to everything in the game. And the thing is, that build was only about 80 years old, so that's not even like as like old as builds that are like 200 years old that would just get completely just obliterated by a verse 2 build. And that's also kind of what I want to talk about, like the average verse 1 build versus the average verse 2 build. There's just such a huge difference there. Like maybe the best average verse 1 build, like the best verse 1 build, a tumulus, you know, you got your flame wisp or whatever you have. Maybe you have like a stone serpent's edge. I don't remember if that was verse 1, but whatever. I think the best verse 1 build that you could find to create that build is losing to like the average PvP build in verse 2. Verse 2 just has like such crazy like diversity and like huge potential. What you can do with Shrine of Order and so many like hits now to get crazy resistance. And what I actually want to talk about was like a good analogy for this that I actually saw below Dan VR video as a comment, was that the analogy is basically like verse 1 is like boxing, verse 2 is basically like American football. So in verse 1 it's sort of like, you know, boxing is more about well placed and time shots, feints and hits, maybe playing a whole lot smarter. But verse 2 is more like American football, where it's just like more about who has more power, who has more speed to like run the other person and just bulldoze through the competition. Which in this situation, it would just be like having more resistances, more damages, more guard base and stun locks and things like that, because of this like example of power creep. So that kind of brings me to the next point, where a lot of good builds now are kind of just like centered around getting off one of your 5 guard breaks in your kit and then trying to fit that into a stun lock, and then you go from there and combo them. But combat has definitely changed drastically, because like the Shrine of Order the verse 2 brought to the game. Shrine of Order was good for like build diversity, but it also kind of opened this Pandora's box where there's just so many new combinations now and out of this world combos that just would not be possible in verse 1 without Shrine of Order. But yeah, that's basically all I want to talk about. Let me know how you feel about this in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. See you on the next one. Peace.